How you going, people? Gonna do a little video here with the boys in the background. We'll zoom this out here so you can kind of watch them in the background, and I'll try to stand by the tree or something here in case they do something crazy or get in a fight or something. So I got a question on what do you do? How do you know if you could shoot somebody? How do you know if you're not going to freeze up and you have a gun and somebody comes in and you just can't shoot them? And I got this from a woman. I mean, some guys deal with this, but women have this maternal instinct thing about just protecting someone's son or his kid, or if I have a kid, that's somebody's kid, and they see the world through a warped view compared to most guys because we don't have that maternal inner drive like moms do. So women will typically have struggle with this decision. Can I shoot or kill somebody? Now some women will be like, shit, if it's to protect my kids, I'll kill anybody. I'll cut their heart out. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's women who can easily make that decision and have made that decision and who are good at making that decision. But for the majority of the civilian gun owners that go out and say, you know what, I'd like to have a gun to defend myself, there's that question in the back of your mind, could I really shoot somebody? Now, in the military and in police work, you kind of have to deal with this, which is primarily male-dominated. So you have your testosterone, you're aggressive, you're macho, you have your programming and your paramilitary and your yes sir and follow orders. So all those external factors help you come to that conclusion a little bit easier, and you just feel better about it. I talked about the Milgram experiment in a couple of the videos. I was going to do a video on it, but it's basically a guy puts on a lab coat, says he's a doctor, and he tells people to shock people, and they're about to die, and these people continuously shock even though they're going to kill somebody. And one or two people said, you know what, I'm stopping, I'm just not doing it. But most people follow order, and they were able to transfer that responsibility from themselves to the professional, the doctor, the guy in a white coat, to say it's an order. And I mean, most people who understand history know that following orders is no excuse for inhumane actions. Now, define inhumane when you're trying to win a war, and when you're at war, well, that's another topic. But following orders should not justify doing something that's egregious, and it normally doesn't protect you, and you'll be responsible for it later. But you shouldn't be able to. But following orders does give you that justification, that extra push, that extra, if you can't get over the hump on what to do, and somebody says you need to do it, then you kind of can justify it by saying, I was following orders. It was in the performance of my duties. We have to justify things as human on why we do things. So understanding that if you put a gun in your hand and you have not come to the conclusion, without a doubt, no ifs, ands, buts, or coconuts, that you can and will shoot somebody, man, that's a bad situation. You have to, when you pick up a gun, I mean, people go to the range, they shoot paper targets, they get the pretty pink and the pretty pearl handles and all, you know, the pretty guns, and it looks cool, and people love it and say that's a nice gun, and you're in a community and you're a group and you get a peer, you know, reinforcement and all that other great stuff. But that gun, if it's going to be used to defend you or your family, you have to come to terms. I absolutely can shoot somebody, no ifs, ands, buts, coconuts. Okay? No problem. I got no problem whatsoever shooting somebody. I don't want to kill anybody. I'm not going out looking to kill somebody. But if it's between me and you, it's going to be you. Period. Done. End of discussion. If it's between me, you, and my family, it's going to be you. I mean, it's just, there's no gray area. There's not a lot of thinking about it. I've already made a decision. I know that, look, I've seen too many people die. I've seen what happens to people that don't fight back. I've seen people, arms cut off, beheaded, hangings, shootings, rapes. I mean, cruel things. I know what happens and what the alternative is if you are not willing to kill somebody that's going to hurt you. I just know it. So it's a very easy decision for me. Plus, I've been carrying a gun since I was, probably 12. You know, got my first gun, but I've been carrying a gun for government since I was 17. So I've come to that conclusion. So to me, it's almost like a non-thought process. But to someone new, and this lady that's asked a question, I was like, you know, that's probably a pretty good question. I look at it from my experience and going, man, how could anybody even think so simple-minded that that would even be a question? I mean, it's just not even a question to me. But you need to realize it, and people need to understand that, look, when I pick up a gun, this gun will destroy, kill, maim, go in a body with mass velocity and cause blood loss, and will kill somebody, will maim. I don't care. Good. I'm glad it does that. I wish it did more. I wish I had a gun that when I shot you, you just blew up, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. I wish I had a gun if I shot at you and I was even close, you blew up. That'd be perfect. I know people are going to be like, well, that's crazy. You shouldn't. That's evil. Look, I've seen what happens when people shoot at people and they miss, or they hit them in the arm, or they hit them in the heart, and even if they were on an operating table, they would be dead, and yet they still have time to kill 2 or 3 other people. I know what happens. A gun will kill somebody, but it doesn't happen like that. And you have to have that mindset, that warrior mentality, that aggressive, hey, if it's between me and you, it's going to be you. And I got to take you down. I've got to take you down completely, because if you get up and I miss, or I hit you in an area that doesn't stop you, you're going to be able to continue your attack. And whether it's with a knife, a gun, throwing acid on me, throwing, you know, some chemical, biological, whatever. If I don't kill you and stop you in your tracks, it's going to be me on the table, or my family, or I'm going to be maimed for life, or I'm going to be, you know, if you're a woman, you're going to be raped, whatever. You have to come to that decision. Now, can I tell you to come to that decision? No. But in order to reach that decision, you can educate yourself. You can look at pictures that you don't want to look at of people who have been cut up. And I've got some pictures on my website of people who have been knifed up and cut up and their heads blown off and shot with high-powered rifles. And you can watch the news, and every once in a while, if they don't filter it, you can find people that are blown up and no legs. And if you go to the airport, you'll see people come back from Afghanistan with no legs, no arms, living there. There's plenty of information out there that reinforces what happens if you're in a violent, life-threatening situation and you lose. There's just unlimited information, and none of it's good. If you lose in a life or death situation, nothing good comes out of it. So the only other option for me, which is very simple, is I ain't losing. I'm fighting to the death. I'm going for the eyes, throat, girl. I don't care. I want you dead. I want you stopped. I do not want you to have a second ability to take me out, because it only takes one lucky shot by you to hit my jugular vein with a freaking pin or a little bitty pocket knife, and you cut my jugular vein and I'm out. I'm dead. Even if I win, even if I shoot you and kill you, I'm still dead. So that's not a win to me. If I die, it's not a win. If I leave wounded or maimed, it's not a win for me. A win for me is you die and I walk away. And unless you can get that mindset in your head, you really need to consider about whether or not I want to have a gun or a weapon. Okay, if I've got this knife and I am not willing to cut you or use it, and I'm just like, I'm going to threaten you and maybe you'll go away. But then if you grab it and say, give me that knife or I'm going to beat you, and I go, okay, here you go. Man, I've just armed my adversary to use it against me. So, I mean, if you have a weapon, you have to be willing and able to say, you know what? I'm going to use it without a second thought. I don't have to think about it. Because in the middle of the action, if you're thinking about it in the middle of the action, you're dead. Because that causes what I talk about, lag time. That thing that cops have to go through when we shoot somebody. We're worried about background. Are we authorized? Is it a real gun? Is the gun loaded? Is the guy black? Am I going to be called a racist? Am I within policy? Oh shit. I've got to worry about all this shit before I pull the trigger. You know what? As a citizen, when you're defending your life, the only question should be, if I don't do this, am I dead or seriously bodily injured? Could I be dead? And if the answer is yes, done. Over. Decision is made that quick. So, and actually a decision, and a lot of times, can be made before that. If I see somebody running around a mass shooting people, I can draw my gun, I can get it out, I can get behind cover, and I can make sure I take them out even before that. So, I mean, I don't even have to think about it. I'm already made the decision before it ever happened that, hey, I'm ready. I'm going to sneak up on this guy. I'm going to get behind him when he walks around his corner. I'm going to put this gun to the back of his neck and blow his celery stalk off. I already know that, so there's no thought process, no lag time whatsoever. But that's in a situation where I kind of know that deadly force is authorized. I know I'm going to do it. Now I'm just debating on how I'm going to do it. But in a life and death, if you're in your house and you hear a noise and all of a sudden you grab your gun out of your nightstand and you don't know who's coming up and you're like, oh my God, I wonder if somebody's here to help me. Well, you know what? They shouldn't be there to help you. They ought to know. If you really want to feel bad, you can say, I got a gun, get out. But sometimes that's giving away your position. I'm not a big kind of warning guy. I don't like giving warnings. If you put me in a position to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to tell you. As a cop, I got to tell you a lot of times what I'm going to do because policy requires it. They got to give use of force, escalation of force, all these other things come into play. But as a citizen, hey, I'm not going to warn you. And even as a cop, if you're robbing a bank, there's case law that says I do not have to warn you before I shoot you in the back because if my warning endangers other people, then I don't have to give a warning. So, I mean, you need to understand that when you arm yourself that, hey, I've got to come to terms, and when I'm out the range and I'm shooting paper, I need to shoot that paper and say, if this was somebody coming at me that was going to rape me, could I do this? And just picture a person and say, I'm going to shoot that person. I'm going to kill that person. I'm going to stop that person. I'm going to shoot him 3 times, not once. I'm not going to shoot once and see if my bullet worked. I'm emptying my damn gun on him because I'm scared. Fear is the justification for using force, and as long as you have that reasonable fear, you're going to be okay. But you cannot be okay if you're trying to decide in the heat of the battle, in the heat of the moment, in a minute of fight or flight, if you're trying to create lag time and decision and have this thought process going on, should I, would I, could I, man, I really can't do it, I really shouldn't have got this gun, this is a bad idea, what do I do with this gun, maybe I'll unload it, maybe I'll hide it, maybe, you know what, you're still a freaking victim. I mean, I'm thinking if you're going out and buying a gun, you've got the mentality that, hey, you don't want to be a victim. But you need to have that decision, and you need to come to that process that I can and I will shoot and kill somebody, because if I don't, the consequences is something that I just can't handle. Okay, and that's death, bodily injury. I mean, you can't protect your kids, you know, if you're dead. So if you don't want to kill somebody because you want to be nice and because they're somebody's son and because you're a parent and maybe he's got this and maybe it wasn't his fault and maybe it was the system and maybe it's because of his color and you come up with all these freaking liberal excuses on why people commit crimes, then you know what? You're just going to be a damn victim. So you'll either be in jail for not shooting and having your gun used against you, or you'll use it later, or, I mean, if you're justified, and there's case law on this for cops, if you're justified to use deadly force, no other justification is needed. You're just done. You just do it. You do what you do. Once you're justified, you're justified. Now, there is a time factor. I can't be justified here and then 20 minutes later go, oh, you know what? I was justified 20 minutes ago. I'll just go ahead and kill him. That doesn't work. But once I make the decision and deadly force is authorized, I can shoot you. I don't have to worry about any of the other things. I just need to take out the threat and stop the threat and protect me or protect the lives of others. And those are the things that you got to remember. But, man, I don't know how to get you to that conclusion. And I don't think anybody can get you. That's a personal decision. You have to say, you know what? It's got to be them over me. I'm the good guy here. I'm not the one that went out looking for trouble. I'm not the one robbing. I'm defending my family, and I'm defending myself. And you know what? That trumps everything in my book. You know, of course, the damn liberals will be out here thinking, no, we should offer freaking burglars that break in our house damn flowers and make friends with them. Hi, boys. How's Mr. Rooster doing out there with you guys? Everybody's getting used to the rooster. All right, we'll end that there on when to decide if you can kill somebody. And it damn sure ain't when you need to decide it. It needs to be done before.